Hey playa, we are now live. Today is my 30th birthday. I'm celebrating here with you guys and I'm super excited to be here to share, memories, experiences, talk to you guys, answer some questions, just to have fun. This hangout is all about having fun, answering questions, just having a good time. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys. Let me just set everything up here so that I can easily read the chat along with, let me pop the chat out because that makes it easier. How's everyone doing, guys? All right, popping out the chat makes it super easy for me to kind of follow along and also to maximize here. How's everyone doing? So if you're excited about this, you guys are ready for this, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know what you guys think. If you're excited, if you have questions you want to ask me, you guys can always ask me questions over there. And I'm going to get to some of your questions. But first, I just want to say here, if you aren't following me over on Snapchat or Instagram, if I don't get to answer your question here, I'm going to try to jump in the comment section afterwards and answer you guys' questions. But if I don't get to answer you at all, you can always message me over on Snapchat and Instagram. Those are the two platforms that I'm always on. Thank you guys for saying happy birthday. See, some of you saying, so Nickname Gaming says, Josh, my birthday's today too. Awesome, Nick. I'm super excited for you. That's cool, man. We're birthday buddies. It's this link to view stream, can view in a regular YouTube app. So if you just go to my YouTube channel, it should pop up there. I know somehow sharing links and sometimes sharing links in Snapchat and Instagram can be a little wonky, but ultimately, if you go there, it'll pop up. So why is this thing staying here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys my Snapchat here, so you can just either screen grab it or whatever you want to do with it. Why is this thing not disappearing? And then we'll get right into the questions. But I'm excited, guys. So let's pull it up. Boom. That's my Snapchat there. I don't know if it's too small or too blurry, but definitely take a screenshot. Oh, no, it went away. Definitely take a screenshot so you can add me over on Snapchat. Also, Instagram, I'm at thejoshspeaks. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. So if you aren't following me, go follow me over on one of those two platforms. But let's get right into the questions. I want to also share a few birthday stories with you guys, but let's just jump right in and see here. Now, what I'm going to do is, here's the thing. The way the questions will work is I'm going to kind of go in order through the chat. So I'm going to pause the chat at some point. I'm going to keep kind of go through them one by one. If you have a question that's super pressing that you need to ask me, like you're in dire need, there's always the super chat function. So on the chat window, right, if you look on the bottom, there should be a little dollar icon thing, little dollar sign. If you click the dollar sign, you can donate a super chat. And donating super chat will kind of notify me to let me know, hey, this question is pressing. This person donated $1, let's say, to get it right in front of your eyes. And if I get any super chats, I'll jump right in and answer those directly in that moment, because I know that it's so pressing that you need to kind of get it out there. So we'll cover that. But let's just jump right in right here. This looks like a good spot to pick. So ZV, I think this is ZV Vlogs, right? We talk all the time, I think. Hey, Josh. So I've been talking to my crush a lot lately, and it's been going great. I'm almost certain that she likes me back, and I'm pretty sure she knows I like her. Should I ask her out now or wait? That's a good question, ZV. So here's the thing. Sometimes people are, kind of have back and forths with their crushes. They don't really know where they stand, but it seems like in your case, you think she likes you back. You're almost certain she likes you back. So it's like, okay, now, she knows you like her. She likes you back. You both kind of have a thing for each other. What do you do? So you're asking, should you ask her now or wait? I personally think you should go for it, especially if you know how your crush feels. If you know that your crush already likes you and you already have that going in the sense that you both are on the same page, now it's just a matter of waiting for someone to make a move. I think that's the perfect opportunity for you to kind of go forward and do it, man. I think that's the perfect chance to kind of go in and ask her out. And, it doesn't have to be anything big. It can be something small. It could be something as simple as just shooting her a message and saying, hey, you seem like an interesting person. I want to get to know you better. Like, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do for fun? Get to know her a little bit better. And then just say something like, what are you doing on Friday? I was thinking about going to see I was going to say Avengers, but going to see the Justice League movie, right? You can say that, hey, Justice League movie looks pretty cool. You want to go watch with me? And then invite her to go watch the Justice League movie with you. That might be an option for you. So there's a few different things that you can do. I think that's one of them. Just jump in and go for it, man. I don't think you should hold yourself back. Let's see. Charizard Legend wants to know, thank you, ZV, for wishing me happy birthday. Charizard Legend wants to know, what makes people a nerd? So Charizard, I did a video on this, all about how I collect toys and like toy collecting is my hobby. If you follow me You know, on Snapchat and Instagram, you see I have tons and tons of action figures and things like that. But I think the idea of a nerd, right? What people classify as a nerd is people see nerds as people who have kind of obscure interests, meaning they like things that are not just typical normal things. Maybe they aren't like Ariana Grande fans, and they don't like I don't know, flipping bottles or whatever is cool, whatever is fun. Flipping bottles is kind of old at this point, but you know, someone who has kind of a very obscure thing. Maybe they like anime. Maybe they like certain music that's not mainstream. Maybe they're a fan of collecting things, books, toys, whatever it may be. And you know, it's not so normal that you see a lot of people do it. So people tend to classify those people as nerds. Nerds can also be people that people classify as someone who's too smart or too book smart, meaning like you do really well in school and you're a teacher's pet and you get all these labels, and nerd tends to be one of those labels that people classify. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it a bad thing to be separate from the mainstream? Is it a bad thing to be good at school? Absolutely not. I think in some ways you have to embrace your nerddom, you know? I embrace the fact that I collect toys. I embrace my nerdom. And I think that's good. I think it's important for us to kind of really showcase the things that we like. And sure, in some cases, it may make us look weird to other people, but at the end of the day, you're being true to yourself. And that's what matters most, because you can pretend to like other things. You can pretend to go along with the flow. But if you're not being true to yourself, life is going to be a lot harder to live. It's going to be a lot harder to carry forward in a way that you feel comfortable living. So that's what I would say to that. So Epicplex says, hey, happy birthday. Thank you, man. How do I deal with my sex drive? I like some girls or their personalities, but some, you know what? Okay, so I get where you're coming from on that. I think what you mean to say basically is that some girls you want to get to know on a more personal level, and some girls you just want to have some kind of a romantic relationship with, an intimate relationship. You just want to do stuff with them. And I get that. That's normal. I mean, we all feel that way about different people, right? Like sometimes we see someone and it's like, I don't know anything about you, but I think you're super hot, you know, like that's a normal feeling. I don't think you should ever feel bad about that. I don't think you should ever feel guilty. It's normal to have instinctual feelings about someone. What matters most is how you carry them forward. So I think that if that's all you want from a person, if all you want is some kind of a sexual relationship with them, I think it's important to put that forward and kind of let that be known in the beginning, because the last thing you want to do is kind of lead someone on to think, hey, this person is really interested in me and they really like me and they want to build something with me, only to find out later, no, he's just he's just a guy messing around with me, or she's just a girl who is stringing me along. You don't want to ever do that to someone, right? Because no one ever wants that. Like, do you want that done to yourself? I don't think anyone wants that done to them. So it's important to not do that to other people too. So how do you make it clear and known from the beginning that you want just a sexual relationship? Well, I think it's the matter of just expressing that. You don't have to say, I just want to bang, bang, bang. You know, you could say something as simple as like, hey, you seem like a cool person and stuff. I'm not really looking for a relationship right now, but I would love to hang out with you sometime. So now you're kind of putting it out there. You're letting it be known that you're not looking for anything serious. And if they still want to hang out with you knowing that, well, then things will lead on their own. And, you know, as long as you're explicit and honest along the way, I think that's what matters most. Let's see. So let's pop in. So we got tons of questions coming in, guys. I'm super excited. By the way, just so you guys know, I'm 30 years old, as the name of the Hangout suggests here. And I know a bunch of you, some of you know how old I am. Some of you are like, what? I thought you were in high school. Like, throw a lawnmower at me said, I thought you were like 19. Yeah, a lot of people think I'm a lot younger than I am, which is always fun to be like, hey, I'm not, I guess. Let's see. Dylan Nolan says, hey, Josh, my crush asked me to help her with something, and she smiles at me as well. Does she like me? Okay, so I get this question a lot. The idea that, hey, your crush smiles at you, your crush looks at you, your crush glanced at you, your crush played with their hair. They'll do any one of these things, and it leaves you wondering, what does it mean? Are they doing it because they like me? Are they trying to insinuate something? Are they trying to get my attention? If your crush smiles at you, and I did a video about this too, if your crush is smiling at you, I would not automatically assume that's a sign of interest, because sometimes people smile just because they want to smile. Not every smile is, there's a hidden message behind it. You know, sometimes smiles are just that. They're just people expressing their genuine interest, you know, like, hey, you seem like a cool person, let me smile. Maybe they're happy about something. Maybe something else is on their mind and they just happen to be looking at you. So what do you do about it? What do you do if your crush is smiling at you or looking at you and, you know, you're kind of wondering, okay, well, What exactly does that mean? What exactly should I do about that? Well, what I would say is this. I think that if you see your crush smiling at you and you're wondering whether or not they like you, the most important thing for you to do is for you to talk to them, for you to ask them out, for you to get to know them better so you can see if that smile actually means what you think it is. A lot of times people want to figure out what their crush is thinking before even interacting with them. And I think that's a bad move, because if you're going to sit on the sidelines and try to, Sherlock Holmes, figure out all the clues before, before you actually decide to move forward with it, guess what? Your crush, if they do like you, they're going to get bored. They're going to get bored waiting around for you to make a move, and then it's going to lead to nowhere. So you actually hurt your chances the longer you wait to act on anything with your crush, simply by trying to figure out what their what their motives are. So I see a lot of people popping in saying, Root Movie Productions, happy birthday. Thank you, Root. Naomi World Forever, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Dylan Nolan, happy birthday. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, guys. It really means a lot to me. Hurried Crane says, hey, happy birthday, Josh. Many more years and a very happy life to come. I hope you have a great day, and I hope your channel grows. Thank you so much. I apologize. I'm going to wipe my nose because I've been sick. Well, I don't believe I get sick, but I've had a runny nose for the last 2 days or so. So I'm trying my best to get past the idea of being sick. Yes, it's ZV Vlogs. I just changed the name a few months ago. Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm super behind on comments then if I'm just getting that now. Let's see. Kohan Torres. So to anyone new that is jumping in, like I said before, pop your question in the chat and I'm going to get to it. I'm going down the chat one by one, question by question. If you have a question that you want to kind of push right to the top and get it seen by me right away, you can always use the super chat function. If you don't know what that is, that's the little $sign on the bottom there. But otherwise, I'm going to go through these questions, guys, because I think we got some interesting stuff here as I'm reading through it. You got some good stuff here. So, Root Movie Production says, "Hey, I asked my crush and she said, yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm happy for you." Let's see. Charizard Legend pops in again and says, "How should I get a girlfriend?" That's a good question, Charizard. I did a video, I think it was last week or so, on how to ask a girl to be your girlfriend. And that's under the assumption that you've been talking to her, you guys are friends. You want to kind of go from just hanging out regularly to actually being boyfriend and girlfriend. So check that video out if you're at that stage. If you're not, and it's just a girl that you like, and you don't really talk to her, you don't really know her that well, but you want to be in a relationship with her, I think the first step before you even think about being boyfriend and girlfriend is getting to know her better. So I'm going to just assume that you're at that stage. I don't know. But let's assume you're at that stage where you don't really know where you guys stand. You don't really know if, she's going to like you back, or if she even knows who you are, if she even cares who you are. So you want to first start talking to her. And I think the best way to go about that is to ask her simple questions. Now, I don't know if you guys have checked it out before, but I did put together a guide. If you search it up on YouTube, it should pop up. 20 icebreaker conversation starters. If you always feel like you have no clue what to talk about, you run out of things to say, you don't know how to keep a conversation going, you don't even know how to start a conversation, you just kind of freeze up in the moment, I put together a bunch of icebreakers. And I think what that does is those are different conversation starters you can use to kind of just get the ball rolling. And in that guide, if you search it up on YouTube, the video should pop up and that should take you directly to the link you can download. It's a guide. And what it has is the question you can ask, and then follow-up questions or follow-up things that you can lead into it with. So I kind of really broke it down for you guys there. So you're starting there. You want to get a girlfriend, but you don't know where to begin. I think that's where you guys can start. Oh, the chat jumped. So I'm just going to pick it from a place again. Let's see. It's Josh's birthday. Shalom Solano. Thank you, man. Happy birthday. Thank you for the happy birthday wish. Okay, so Dylan Nolan says, "Josh, my crush has the same hobbies as me. She does taekwondo, I do boxing and karate. Do you think that there's a connection there?" Absolutely. See, here's the thing. You and your crush don't have to do the exact same things. You guys don't even have to like the exact same things. I think in your case, Dylan, what's really cool is that you both are involved in very physically active sports. Yes, they're different in a sense. Boxing and taekwondo and karate are different things, but you both have those extracurricular activities where you're physically training. And I think that's awesome because you can always talk to her about boxing. She can always talk to you about taekwondo. You guys can talk about the similarities, the differences, how long you train for, what your training session is like, what your goals are. Like for you, do you want to be a boxer? Do you want to like perform or have televised matches or matches you get paid for. Like, what's your goals with boxing? You can find out what her goals are with Taekwondo. So I think that's perfect that you guys both share that kind of physical activity in your own way that you guys can really share and communicate over. Let's see, Flash Royale says, hey Josh, I've overcome my fear of talking to my crush in high school. Now I sit at lunch with her every day for the last month or so. How can I start flirting without creeping around? Okay, so Flash, this is a bit tricky here. And the reason why it's a bit tricky is, so you also said, I also have her number, but the text seems so boring and dull, nothing seems emotional. Just LOL, hey, and cool, what can I do? Okay, so thank you for the context there. I think this will help you out. So I think one of the fears here that I'm picking up on is that possibly you've become just regular friends with her. And because within the last month, you haven't kind of approached her or talked to her or asked her out in a way that can lead to anything, she might start only seeing you as a friend. That's a pretty common thing for people to feel or do, especially if the person that they're hanging out with just doesn't show any kind of romantic feelings at all. So a month has passed and you've kind of just been friends. The conversations are kind of dull. I think what it comes down to now is you have to change your strategy. You need to change the way you interact with her, right? So probably you ask her things like, you message her and text her things like, hey, what's up? How's your day going? Boring stuff like that. Like you said, boring and dull. I think a good way to change it up is find something that she likes or something she enjoys doing and tease her about it. Make fun of it. Joke around about it. Let her know. Say something like, talk to her when they say, there's something different about you. I don't know what it is. Something very different. I don't know. And build that curiosity. You want her to feel like, hey, this guy is looking at me and he's curious about me and he's thinking about me in a different way, because you want her to see you in a different way too. And when you text her, be sarcastic, be witty, be funny. If she posts a picture, leave a comment making fun of her. Say like, oh, you look so silly or something, like, something funny that's just going to kind of catch her eye, make her kind of respond back with her own level of sarcasm. Because here's the thing, if you and her both get that kind of sarcasm going back and forth where you guys are teasing each other, that's a sign of interest. That's a sign that, hey, she's picking up on what you're doing and she's playing back. She gets it. She gets that you're doing it to tease her, and she's teasing you back in that right. So you want to change your strategy, I think, by doing that. Because if you keep with the same kind of like, hey, how's your day going? Hey, how's everything going? She's never going to be interested in you because she sees no sign of interest. So you need to really sharpen your skills and change that up. Let's see. Why isn't he on? Let's see. Really like her. So I'm going through the rest of your guys' comments here. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Super excited to be able to spend my birthday with you. Let's drink this water here. Now I'm on my laptop to view the stream and chat. Happy 30th. Thank you, Kyler. Appreciate that, man. Let's see. All right, Alex Klimasuski says, how long does it take for a girl to get over a guy? That's a good question. Alex, I think every relationship or every breakup really is different. Sometimes it can take a girl a long time to get over a guy. Sometimes if she's been with him for forever, it feels like she may feel like she's always going to have those level of romantic feelings for him, and it may never go away, But I think what you're asking is, I'm assuming it's because maybe you like a girl and the girl liked or dated some other guy and now they broke up. So it's kind of like, when should you step in and kind of ask her out? When is the right time to kind of lead it to something? And I think the answer to that question really comes down to, how well you've gotten to know her beforehand. So do you feel like you and her, Alex, do you feel like you and her are close enough where you guys flirt and you joke around? And she just happened to break up with her boyfriend and now she's single and she's kind of in that period where she's kind of getting her thoughts together. But do you feel like you're ready to talk to her and ask her out? Do you feel like if you did, she would say yes? I think that's what you should focus on more. Focus on building that connection with her where you guys can flirt and joke around with each other, because when she finally gets over that other guy, when she finally moves on and is ready, then you can just pop in and ask her out. It becomes a whole lot easier at that point. Let's see. Osnair B says, hey, man, good to see you again. How should I ask out a girl barista at the coffee shop I go to all the time? That's a good question. So this can be a little tricky because whether it's in a grocery store, let's say a person at the cash register, or a barista or a waitress at a restaurant, or any of these kind of jobs where you're interacting with these people for brief amounts of times, and a person at your gym, let's say working at your gym, you have these brief interactions with these people, and it's not enough for you to kind of really dive deeper into full conversations. So what you really need to do is establish some kind of joking, friendly relationship with them, right? You can joke and ask them a question. Ask them something like, "Hey, like, what school do you go to?" Or, "Hey, just random question. What do you like to do for fun?" Or, "What time do you get out of work?" Or any of these questions, just to learn a little bit more about them. And then as you see them time after time, you could say, "You seem like a really cool person. I want to get to know you better. So what's the best way that I can connect with you?" Or like, pass your phone over and say, "Quick, put your," my stack of books over here. You can always say, give her your phone and say, "Hey, quick, put your Snapchat in, or let me get your Instagram, or let me get your number, and we could talk later." You have those brief moments, and you got to kind of act on them. And if she's not interested, and here's the thing, if she's like, "Oh no, no, thank you," then you don't keep pushing, because it makes things a lot harder for her, because she's kind of in a structured role where she's got to go there day after day, and she doesn't want to feel awkward around you. So take the hint. That's the most important thing. If you ask her for her number, if you ask her any of those things in talking to her day after day, and you see that it's not going the right way, don't keep pushing, because it's hard for her to kind of back out and leave that situation, because she works there. So she's kind of at a disadvantage, and you don't ever want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. Let's see. It's Josh's birthday. Thunderwolf says, "Happy birthday, dude." Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. My crush is my new girlfriend. I asked her out. Cohan Taurus. Awesome stuff, man. Let's see. Thomas Dolan says, "Hey, I have a crush on a girl who knows this, but we're really good friends. When we're alone, she flirts with me. However, she shows no interest when she's with her friends. Do I ask her how she feels tomorrow?" Okay, so let me read this again. You have a crush on a girl who knows this, but we're really good friends. Okay, so she knows you like her, but you guys have both decided, hey, let's just be friends. When you're alone, she flirts, and when she's around her friends, she doesn't. Okay, so what it sounds like to me is that she enjoys that individual attention that you give her, but she doesn't want her friends to think that she actually likes you. So this is important, because what it sounds like to me is that she may be using you for that attention in some way. If you want to build something with her, if you want to start a relationship with her, you got to be upfront with her. If you see that she acts one way when she's alone with you and another way she's with her friends, you got to tell her, "Look, let's take our chances to go out on a date. If not, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep being friends." You got to be straightforward sometimes, because otherwise she's going to keep getting what she wants out of you, and you're going to keep hoping for something, but then it's never going to go there. So you're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot at some point. You don't want that to happen. So you got to be upfront with her. You got to tell her how you feel and say, "Look, let's go out one time. Let's see how it works out. If it doesn't, I don't want to keep being friends, but I want to see if we can build something together." And then she'll have to make a decision for herself for what works best. Let's see. Kyla wants to know, I'm going to go see Thor Ragnarok on Friday. Have you seen it? I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok. I didn't even watch Thor Underworld, or I think that was it, right? That was the second Thor. I didn't watch the second Thor, so I'm way behind on Thor. I got to follow that. Okay, Phoenix Gaming says, "Hey Josh, my crush and I were at a party. We played Truth or Dare, and she was dared to kiss our other friend. She said she enjoyed it. Some of my other friends said she likes me. What should I do?" Okay, I hear you. I hear where you're coming from on that, Phoenix. You're probably worried, like, all right, she said she liked kissing your other friend, and you're like, whoa, where do I stand? Can I ask her out? I wouldn't look too much into Truth or Dare. Because sometimes people kiss each other and do things in truth or dare that they don't really mean or want to, just because they're dared to do it. Now, what I think you should do is, I think you should still pursue her. You should still ask her out. You should still get to know her, simply because just because she had that experience with the other guy doesn't mean that there's no chance that you and her can't build something. And I think that's what you should focus most on. Focus on what you guys can build together. If you get caught in the slump of, oh, but what if she likes someone else? What if she wants to talk to someone else? If she's not dating them, then it doesn't matter. If she only likes someone else, who cares? That's really it. Who cares? You still have a shot. You still have a chance. And I think you should go for it. And I don't think you should hold yourself back. Let's see. Nice and happy birthday, Josh. Accents thirst for knowledge. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Ben Starlord wants everyone to know, follow me on Instagram. It's _Ben_Starlord_. Guys, go follow Ben Starlord. Let's see. Legendary Gaming says, "Hey, Josh, I have people telling me someone likes me, and I don't know if I should trust them. Anyway, happy birthday." Thank you, Legendary Gaming. So here's the thing. When it comes to people telling you that someone likes you, I think what you should do is this. If you get the hint or someone kind of passes it along or it's a rumor or anything like that, and it's someone that you're interested in too, go for it. Don't ever hold back on it. But you don't go up to them and you don't say something like, hey, do you like me? Because that's a little too confrontational. It's a little like too putting them on the spot and having them to say yes, making them say yes or no. And that no one ever wants to be in that kind of position. So I think instead of kind of like forcefully saying, hey, do you like me? Start talking to them, start interacting with them in a way that, if they do like you and they are keeping it a secret, then it'll start to come out as you get to know them. But because you have this insider information, that should help you shape the interactions. That should be your mindset. That should be your focus. Let's see. Let's see. Happy birthday, Josh. You don't look 30, man. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. Let's see. So Scrub Lord says, happy birthday. Thank you, man. I'm Savage Connor on Snapchat, and I came to say thank you for the advice on how to talk to a shy girl while I'm also shy. It's working out, and it turns out we both really like each other. That's awesome, man. See, these are the kind of success stories that I'm always talking to you guys about. It's this idea of like, look, we're all a little shy, and approaching someone new and approaching a new situation is incredibly scary. It always feels like there's a chance that things will go wrong or the person will hate us or everything's going to blow up in our face. That's always going to be a fear. That's why I'm always saying everything is small steps. So I'm always saying that it's important to start laying the groundwork by saying hi. I've mentioned in the past, and I'll mention it again, there are 3 key steps that you guys should focus on. If you've never talked to the girl you like, or you've never talked to your crush, you're too scared to do it, you don't even know where to start. Focus on these 3 key steps, and if you do this long enough, then I guarantee it'll be so much easier for you to talk to them, and not only talk to them, for you to ask them out. Here are the 3 key steps, and I want you to follow along with me. 1, make eye contact. It's so crucial to make eye contact with your crush when you see them. If you're looking down or looking away and never looking at them directly, then obviously they're never going to notice you. They're never going to feel like you're actually interested or you're paying attention to them in some way. So making eye contact is key. 2, I don't want to do that because then I'm holding the middle finger. 2, the second thing is smiling. Right now, it's one thing to just stare at someone deadpan. That's just like creepy. But if you're smiling while you're doing it, when people see other people smiling at them, we always think, oh, they're going to think I'm a weirdo. But realistically, they're going to think, hey, this person is radiating positive energy. People who smile are generally positive. We'll put aside all the crazy psychopaths that are like, but generally people who smile are just positive people. They're just radiating this positive energy. So if she sees or he sees that you're smiling at them, you carry this level of happiness to you, that's always a good sign. That always shows them, hey, I can feel safe and comfortable on this person. So that's number 2. The third thing you want to focus on is just saying hi. Now, I know we talked about you're too scared, maybe you're too nervous about starting a conversation, but saying hi is not starting a conversation. It's simply saying hi. When you see them, smile at them, keep eye contact, and say, hey, how's it going? Something as simple as that, and you'll get an answer back from them, hey, or how's it going? And just focusing on that, getting them to see that you are a fun, energetic, normal, positive person. Eye contact, smiling, and saying hi. If you focus on those 3 key things, it'll be so much easier to kind of lead into eventually starting a conversation with them. Now, I know I kind of went into detail on that, but I think it's important because I think that that topic of being shy or nervous around your crush is going to pop up a lot, and I really wanted to hone it down. Let's see. Nerf are great. Yeah, I agree with you. Let's see. Silent Ninja says happy birthday. Thank you, Silent Ninja. Okay, so ZV says, it sucks that today's kids can't listen to actual music without being called weird or hipster. I can't stand today's music. It gives me a headache. I'll stick with rock and roll. Yeah, man. Like, there's a lot of mainstream music that's just like weird, but people follow it because it's kind of the thing that's in now. But I hear where you're coming from on that. Let's see, Alexis Cruz, what's good, bro? What's good, man? Sabre Harris, hello, Josh. Happy birthday. Thank you, man. Ryan C, happy 30th birthday, Josh. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. World Real Times News, I subscribe to your channel. If you want to subscribe to mine, goodbye. All right, cool, man. Thank you for subscribing. Let's see. K Taper, how do you get rid of being nervous? That's a good question. How do you get rid of being nervous? Like I mentioned before with those 3 key steps, I think everything is small steps here. It really is a matter of focusing on pushing yourself little by little every single day pushing yourself little by little every single day, and then seeing where that gets you. Like a lot of times we get nervous of everything kind of collapsing on us and the whole structure falling apart and everyone hating us. But realistically, it's like people are more concerned with how they feel and what's going on in their own lives, that if someone comes to them with genuine kindness, it's going to make them feel so relieved. It's going to make them feel so like relaxed, like, hey, this person's just being a good person. Like I feel fine, Naomi World Forever, I love your videos. Thank you, Naomi. Let's see. Alexis Cruz, happy birthday. Thank you, man. Thank you, Alexis. Let's see. Vince Smoke Gaming. Oh, this is an interesting question. Josh, I never talk in school. Is that bad? So Vince Smoke, let me just share a little story here. I was that kid. I was that kid who every single time I was in class, I kept to myself. I didn't say anything. I had my friends and stuff, and I only talked to them when I saw them. But during class, I never talked. And people always looked at me like, oh, is this guy weird? He doesn't ever speak. Is he, like no one knew what was going on. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I do think that you're making things a little bit harder for yourself. And the reason why I say that is because if you were to, let's say, just raise your hand and talk and answer some questions, or you were even just to say hi to some of the people in your class, I guarantee that you would open up more. It's like, it's only bad if you feel like it's boxing you in and you're not. When you start to tell yourself, I don't care that much to talk to other people, then I think you're boxing yourself in. So if you're at that point, then I would say, yes, it's kind of bad because you're not allowing yourself to really flow and connect with people. And I think if you connected with more people, you'd see the difference. And I learned that later on, once I got to college, I allowed myself to flow and interact with people. But in high school, I kind of boxed myself in a lot. And I realized, man, if I only turned to the kids sitting next to me and say, hey, how's it going? Every time we popped into class, or every time we jumped into class, then I feel like things would have been a lot different. So you'll see that difference once you start interacting with more people. Happy birthday. I see a lot of happy birthdays. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Thank you for your happy birthday wishes. J Extra Junior Lucas says, what? 30? How does it feel to be 30? Yep, that's a good question. For me, I feel completely the same. But I'm a bit of a weird guy. So the way I see it is like this. It's like as you get older, maybe your body changes, your voice changes, your life circumstances change, but your mentality of how you approach life probably stays around the same. Meaning if you are excited about life, you are excited about being able to do things and getting out there and changing the world, then it doesn't matter if you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. If you carry that excitement of feeling like I can make a difference, I can change the world, then the age really doesn't play into that. Like you just work with what you got, but you focus on changing the world. And I think that's how I am. It's like when I was 20 versus when I'm 30, when I'm 40, it's like, man, I don't feel like I'm prevented in any way from really going out there and helping people and doing as much as I can to really just make the world a better place. So how does it feel to be 30? It feels great, man, because I'm here, I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm well, and I can go out there and make a difference in this world. Let's see some more questions we got in here. By the way, guys, hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying this, if you're happy, if you want to just show some support here. I appreciate it. Let's see. Naomi World Forever says, how do I get a hug from my crush? Naomi World, I did a video on that exact topic. You should go check it out. Let's see. Zachary Geraldez. I didn't see your question in here. He just said, hey, Josh, please answer this. I've seen other people in the chat ask too. Happy birthday too. Did I miss it? I think I might have missed it. I don't know. Maybe we'll pop it again. Let's see. So Adam Eclipse says, will I appear creepy when I approach my crush because I'm shy and almost never speak, by the way? So Adam, yeah, we talked about that, never speaking or being nervous, not interacting with people. And then it makes other people feel like, is something okay? Is that person do they hate everyone? Like, you want to kind of break that mold by just saying hi and stuff. Now, when you approach your crush, if you've never spoken to them before, there's always a fear like they're going to think I'm a weirdo. But I think if you approach them with a purpose, then I think you kind of cover those bases. And by that, I mean, like, if you approach your crush and you say something like, hey, can I get your opinion on something? And then ask them a question, then it doesn't appear weird. It appears like you're just talking to them. You're just asking them a question. So I would take that specific approach in in just approaching them and talking to them and seeing where things can go from there. Let's see what we got here. My teacher and I have been watching ever since. Oh, Mark says, hi, happy birthday. I heard you through my teacher and I've been watching you ever since. That's awesome, Mark. I'm curious, Mark, how did you hear about me, man? Where did you find out about me? You know, clue me in on the details. I'd love to reach out to your teacher and say thank you to them. Let's see. Okay, so Zachary says, how do you get rid of the fear of getting rejected? I know others asked too, but I also just want an in-depth answer, please. Okay, so that's the question that he was asking before. So Zach, I did a video on this, I believe last week, on how to get over the fear of rejection. I went really in depth on this idea. I think what it comes down to is you need to put yourself in situations where you're going to challenge the fabric of what you are fearful of, like what you fear. So if the fear is rooted in rejection, if the fear is rooted in the idea of like, okay, is someone going to get, angry at me if I talk to them? Do I have a chance of building a relationship with them or anything of that nature? I think you need to push the boundaries little by little. So maybe the first level of pushing that boundary is just getting comfortable saying hi to them. Maybe that second level boundary is asking them a question or learning a little bit more about them. Maybe the 10th level is asking them out. But you want to push yourself little by little every single time, and you're going to start to see that rejection is not the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world is the fear of not acting on what you want. Because thinking over and over about, man, I should have done this, man, I should have done that, you put yourself in a position where you're thinking about things that you can never change. But you can change talking to your crush. You can change not knowing them at all. All you have to do is act on them, and you have a potential of actually manifesting something. Whereas worrying about what could have happened, you have no control over that. See, it's your boy Xander. My birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday. Awesome, Xander. Good stuff, man. Oh, man, I'm happy. I feel like we're all growing together. This is cool. Super excited. Love you, Josh. Whiteboy27. Love you too, man. Let's see. Okay, Thunderwolf wants to know, Josh, I have a question. What are some good openers for starting a conversation for the girl I somewhat know? Okay, that's a good question. So Thunderwolf, like I mentioned before, I have that 20 icebreaker conversation starters guide where I kind of break down 20 different things you can start talking to your crush about. So I think an easy opener you can just use right off the bat is, look, the Justice League movie is coming out on Friday, right? Or Saturday. I think it's coming out on Friday night. Thursday midnight release, whatever you want to call it. You can always ask your crush about that. Say, hey, you're excited about the Justice League movie? And ask them, hey, have you ever seen Wonder Woman? Do you like Batman? Do you like Superman? Who's your favorite superhero? If they say, I don't like superheroes at all, you can say, oh, that's cool. What's your favorite movie? Or what type of movies do you like? And just start with something as basic as that. What you're doing is using something topical and relevant like Justice League, and you're using that to lead into a conversation. They don't even have to like Justice League, because if they don't, you just lead it somewhere else and say, what other movies do you like? What type of things do you like? So that's a good way, I think, to start the conversation. Use something topical like that and go into it. But I also have that 20 icebreaker conversation starters guide. You can also check that out as well. Let's see. I thought you were like 25. So to comment on that, I made a video a while back called My Quarter Life Crisis, where I talk about how I turned 25. So if you do want to see a video when I actually was 25, look it up, My Quarter Life Crisis. The chat jumped, so I'm just going to pick it up here. Let's see. Naomi, I'm using. Oh, Jocelyn, what's up? I'm Alan. Okay, I'm confused. So Alan is using his mom's account, and his mom is Jocelyn. Okay. I'm on board now. So, okay, here's a good question. Anarchist Chaos says, so Josh, this is so recent like today. What should I do if my crush likes me back, but with her best friend called me a jerk and she just ruined it? So I haven't done a video on this yet, and this is something I'm going to tackle. What do you do if your crush's friends hate you? I did a video on what to do if your crush hates you, but if your crush's friends, and this seems to be a problem sometimes where you like someone, but you don't get along with the friends too well. You kind of have your own little problems with them. You guys don't like each other. You guys annoy each other, whatever it is. What do you do, though? Because that's your crush's friends. You don't want to ruin things with everyone. I think the best way is you have to suck it up, and you have to kind of approach them and try to squash things. That's really what it comes down to. if you sincerely want to build something with your crush, you can't have their friends hating you, because your crush is going to go to her friends or his friends. They're going to go to their friends for advice and ideas and questions and stuff. So you don't want people against you. You want people on your side. And that just means that you have to kind of squash the beef with them. Find out what it is, why you guys don't like each other, and talk to them. Say, hey, look, I don't want to have any problems with you. I think you're an okay person. That, I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to have any issues. And kind of work on that. That should be your focus. Happy birthday. Thank you guys so much. All these people saying happy birthday. I appreciate it, guys. This is super exciting. I'm happy I get to spend my birthday with you guys. Like, I haven't done a live stream in a while. I forgot the last one I did was, I think, well before homecoming. But it's fun to jump on here and talk to you guys and answer questions and stuff. Really enjoy it. I really enjoy talking to you guys. And I want to say also, thank you guys so much for helping the channel grow to where it is. Now that I've switched to the 5 days a week schedule, I'm doing more videos and I'm answering more questions. And I'm just trying out new things and seeing what works. So if you guys have any questions or anything, suggestions for things you want to see here on the channel, always let me know. I'm going to show it here again because why not? Cheap plug. My Snapchat here, you guys can always add me over on Snapchat. That should pop up there. You can screenshot right now. Add me over on Snapchat or on Instagram, and let's talk there too. If you guys are on those platforms, at thejoshspeaks on both. I actively answer questions and everything. So let's see some more questions in here. So Alan says, talking to the girl, getting to know her, building connection. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, Justin Doan says, also, I was wondering, I know you made a video, but should I really be honest if someone asks if I like someone? Kind of undecided if I really like my crush, so I don't want to flat out say yes. That's a good question, Justin. If you're kind of on the fence and you don't know where you stand and someone asks you, should you just see? So what he's referring to is that in the video that I made, I kind of say, like, if someone asks you if you like your crush, I think you should be honest and say, yeah, I like him. I don't think you should ever hide the fact that you like someone. I think you should always be open about it. Because it shows a level of confidence in how you feel. If someone's like, do you like someone? You say, yeah, I like them. So what? Like, there's confidence in that. You're not afraid of anything. You're being confident. And I think that's an important thing to showcase. Now, if you're on the fence like Justin is, and you're like, I'm not really sure how I feel about them, you might want to kind of let them know that. You might want to say, I think they're a cool person. I don't really know if I like them that much yet, but I need to get to know them better first. You might want to kind of slip that in and let them know that you're thinking about them. You're not really sure. If that gets along to your crush, then your crush is going to be like, what? Do they like me? Do they not like me? And to me, that's almost as good as them knowing that you like them, because they're still going to be curious to see where that's going to go. Let's see. So Sean Fennelly says, Josh, I've had a big past for my ex, and we always have something for each other, but then she wants to get back, but I don't know. So what should I do? Okay. So should you get back with your ex? I made a video about this a long time ago, and I'm going to probably reapproach this topic again. But I think ultimately what you should do probably is evaluate why you guys broke up in the first place. People don't put enough emphasis on that. If you guys broke up because you guys fought a lot, or you didn't get along, or you just weren't compatible, you have to ask yourself, yes, sorry. Maybe I still have feelings. Maybe there's something there, but can we make this work? If the answer is no, then there's no point in trying to pursue it again. You need to really ask yourself if it's worth going back into, because most of the times, if you guys broke up because you just didn't get along, it's not. Let's see. Alexis Cruz says, how do you know if your crush is trying to get your attention? That's a good question, Alexis. I did a video on this, I believe last week or 2 weeks ago. I think your crush is trying to get your attention. Personally, I would say if your crush is trying to spend time around you, like they're asking you to hang out, or they're asking a lot of questions, and they're trying to get to know more about you. Now, that might happen by them asking their friends to ask you things, or talking to your friends. But if your crush is trying to learn about you, then that's a sign that they're interested in you in some way. Now, the question really comes down to, what do you do with that? If you want to know if your crush likes you back, I think instead of worrying about that, you should focus on you approaching your crush instead. Shalom says, appreciate the advice you give throughout the channel. Help me out social and relationship-wise. Awesome, man. I'm super happy. It's your choice to feel whether or not you and your ex should get back together. Absolutely, Alan. I think it's a good. It's true. It's like you need to think about whether or not it makes sense for you guys to get back together. Let's see. So J Vlogs says, "What happens if you feel ugly if you have birthmarks?" So J Vlogs, I hear where you're coming from on that. Sometimes it's like whether you have birthmarks or things like that, you may feel at a disadvantage, like, oh my God, I look different, I look weird, I look ugly. And I think what the truth is, it's like in the beginning, when people first meet you, if we're talking about things that are super noticeable, then they're going to notice them, and you can't hide them. And it's who you are. It's part of how you look. You can't hide those things. Um, But what comes after is, as you keep interacting with that person, as you keep talking to them and really building something with them, they're going to start to get to learn and know your personality. And that's where you're going to stick around. That's where you're going to make a difference, because they'll look at you and eventually they'll get used to it. Like everyone gets used to how other people look. No one looks at someone new every day and they're like, oh my God, that's how they look like. Like, you get used to it. But as you learn more about a person's personality, you see how funny they are, how interesting they are, what their story is, then I think you can kind of shine in a whole new light. So J Vlogs, if you feel like you're being ugly is holding you back from building something with someone or talking to someone, like I said, sorry, you got to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture here is long-term, how getting to know someone, getting to know their personality, and ultimately then getting to know you as well. Let's see. Flex King says, you're not 30, you look like 20. I get that a lot, but I am 30. Let's see. Aiden McSporin says, how to talk to a girl you like if you're big and have no confidence. So Aiden, we kind of just covered this too. This idea of kind of, feeling like you're insecure about your looks, and whether it's not looking the way you want to look, feeling ugly, feeling overweight, feeling all these different things. And I have a video on that too, how to ask a girl out if you're fat. Because I feel like a lot of people just ask me that straight up. And I was like, let me just make a video straight up. But ultimately what it comes down to is really letting your personality shine. Like, ultimately, even if you're a good looking person, if you're boring to talk to, people are not going to want to be around you. People enjoy energy and life and happiness, and people who are driven by goals. So if you can allow yourself to be one of those people that's happy and driven to do something, then I think people are going to want to be around you, because they're going to absorb your positive energy, and that's what you ultimately want. Let's see. Do you have an Insta? I do have an Instagram. I post on there every single day. You guys can definitely follow me right here, the Josh Speaks. If you add me on there, I'll talk to you guys in there. Yeah, I talk to people on Snapchat and Instagram. So if you ever want to reach out to me and talk in private, you can always do that over there. Let's see. By the way, if you can do more live streams, would be amazing. Yep, Aiden, I definitely want to, Adam, I definitely want to do more live streams. I think it'd be so much fun. I don't take enough advantage of these, and I got to start doing it more. Josh Speaks Cheeks. Well, that's an interesting one. The Dark World. Oh, it was the Dark World, not the Underworld. Okay, I'm way off. Happy birthday, Josh. You've saved lives. Thank you, Tav. I appreciate that. Josh, do you like UFC? Dylan wants to know. Yep, I'm a fan of UFC. I catch it whenever I can. Let's see. I don't know why you waste your time trying to get at someone when the person ain't going to have no interest whatsoever. I see where you're coming from. So Ryan C wants to know, hey, Josh, if you're 18, can you still date people under 18? So here's the thing. Ultimately, different states have different laws. So if you're 18, depending on the state, there may be parental consent, right? Meaning the person's parents have to consent to it for an 18-year-old to date a 17-year-old, or an 18-year-old, I think, to date a 16-year-old. I don't know what states are under 16, but I think 16 is probably the lowest I've seen in any of the states. But anyway, I think it's more of a question of, should an 18-year-old date a 16 or 17-year-old? And I think it gets tricky, because when you're 18, you're kind of focusing on different things in your life. You're getting ready to either go to college or start working or anything of that nature, where you're kind of thinking in the future, whereas a 16 or 17-year-old is still in the high school mentality. They're still focusing on that. So it all comes down to, one, is it legally okay for you guys to be dating? And two, Are you guys kind of on the same wavelength? Are you guys focusing on the same things in life that you guys can connect and talk? Because if you're not, like I mentioned in the past, if like a middle school person wanted to date a high school person, they're really focusing on different things in their lives, and it'll be hard for them to maintain a relationship because you're totally in different worlds. And I think high school and college can be the same thing, you know? Let's see. Are you excited for Black Panther? Altair, I'm super excited for Black Panther. Let's see. Let's see. If you're someone here that's new as well, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know you guys are enjoying this. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat too. Like I mentioned before, I'm going through the chat question by question. If you have a question that you really want to push to the top, and on the chat, where you would type, there should be a little $ thing. If you click the little $, it's called the super chat, and you can donate. I think it's $1, $2, $5, whatever you want, and it'll pop up the question in front of me and it'll say, hey, answer this question right now. This person donated. Any super chats I kind of immediately answer and I immediately take, because I feel like, hey, you're paying for that priority. I'm going to give you that priority. So if you want to use the super chat function to get a question in front of me, go for it. So Gentleman says, man, Josh, 10 years from now, you'll basically be an old timer. Yeah, right? Like I'll be 40 years old 10 years from now, which is crazy. But I think, like I said, for me, it's a matter of, what you want to do with your life. So you could be 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 or 20 or whatever it is. And if you still have that drive, you still have that zest for life that you want to make a difference, that's all that really matters. Smash your past, Josh speaks. To be honest, let's see, Josh, I want to thank you videos. The person ain't gonna like you back. So I'm just kind of reading through some of the chats here, trying to find the next questions. Okay, No, I'm Dirty Dan says, so I had a group project with my crush. We clicked and it went well. Then I said, nice to meet you, and left. Fast forward 2 months, I haven't said a word to her. What do I do to reconnect? That's a good question. So I've been in that situation before too, where you have a group project with someone, you guys kind of have a thing where you talk, and then the project ends or the class ends, and it's like we go on a merry way and you don't talk to them anymore. I totally get where you're coming from on that. What I would honestly suggest is this, is that if there's something that you can use to re-spark that connection, maybe they post something on Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook or whatever, and you comment on it, and then you shoot them a message and say, man, I was just thinking about you, like, how have you been since we worked together or worked on the project together? What have you been up to? You can kind of dive in, but use something as kind of the starting point to kind of get the conversation going. And I think a good thing to do, good way to kind of approach that really is use something like a picture they post or a status they post and leave a comment or interact with them there, so that can lead you to DMing them, because I think that's how you'll kind of go on that route. And you can always say, man, you just popped into my mind again for some reason. I wanted to catch up with you and say, hey. But it's not just saying, hey, it's really diving deeper into conversation and eventually asking them to hang out. Let's see. Okay, so Luke Oates says, how would you talk to a popular girl when you're not the intended kind of guy? Okay, so I think what you mean is that you like someone who's popular and you don't feel popular, or you're not popular, whatever it may be. This is a common thing, right? Like we see girls or guys and we're like, man, they're like super popular. Like there's no way they'd ever be interested in a person like me. I could just never talk to them. And I think what it comes down to is that you have to remember that popularity is kind of man-made. It's like, it's not a real thing. It doesn't actually hold any weight. We assign the idea of popularity to people, but no one by birth is popular. You're not. So what it really comes down to is that no matter how popular someone is, you can still connect with them on a human level, and I think the more you connect with them, the more you talk to them, the less you'll feel like that popularity makes a difference. So, and like if you want to talk to this girl who's popular, I think what it comes down to is approaching her and saying hi and asking her what her hobbies are and talking to her like you would any other girl. Because in doing that, in talking to her like you would any other girl, you will get over that idea of popularity. You'll get over that idea of she's so different from me. Let's see. Amo Zhang says, I love your channel. Thank you, fam. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, so Dylan says, Josh, last year I was with my friends and my previous crush asked me to go to the toilet with her. Okay. As I asked her where she was going, did she like me? She was flirting with me, or did she want to do the business? Okay, so it's possible that she asked you to go to the toilet with her. Maybe you guys can make out. Maybe because she wanted to actually go to the bathroom. I don't know. But it sounds maybe more like she wanted to maybe talk to you or get to know you better. Maybe she didn't actually want to go to the exact bathroom with you, but she wanted to kind of get some private time with you. That's probably what it was, realistically. Um, but I would use that as a sign of, as hey, like this is a girl that is interested in talking to me or spending time with me one on one, and I think that could be a sign. Now it's on you to kind of pursue it and build more with her. How to talk to someone. So K Taper wants to know, how do you talk to someone you don't know at all? That's a good question, K Taper. I think what it comes down to is when you're starting a conversation with someone totally new, someone you don't know at all. Really, it's like there are fundamental things that you focus on, and that starts with just saying hi and introducing yourself and getting to know them better. Even if you don't know them at all, there are some commonalities. Sorry, I keep yawning. There are some commonalities that we all share, whether it's what classes you're taking, what school like for you, what are you doing for, let's say, Thanksgiving or Christmas break. Like these are things we all kind of share. So you can always ask these basic questions just to get some kind of an answer from them. You can always say, you seem like an interesting person. I want to just get to know you better. Something as simple as that. You don't need to overthink it or overcomplicate it. You just looked at them. They seem like a cool person. You wanted to get to know them better. Let's see, is it too bounding calibration says, is it too forward to hold hands in the first hangout? I don't think it's too forward to hold hands in the first hangout. I think it's okay. I wouldn't worry so much about like feeling like, oh, it's weird to hold hands, or it's weird for people to get like to hug or anything like that. It's like everyone operates at a different level, and if you feel like the level that you're at is good for you and you're comfortable with it, then go for it, man. I don't think you should ever worry so much about that. Hey there, how's your birthday so far? Minute 29 wants to know. My birthday has been awesome. Basically, me and my wife took the last weekend that we just went on, and she kind of took me on a whole trip. We went to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is like Amish country, and it was so cool, like seeing the Amish people. We went to like a farmer's market, and we saw the Amish people there, and we saw an Amish horse and buggy being pulled, an Amish family. Like it's cool seeing that little enclave of people. We also went to like a wolf sanctuary, and we saw all the wolves, and we it was just cool, like seeing all these animals, these wolves in a sanctuary being protected and being cared after, because the wolf population is dying out in North America, so we want to save them. We just did a lot of cool things. We went to a lot of cool vegan spots. We went to this vegan Cinnabon spot that's all vegan. You can get all these topics on it. It's like kind of like Cold Stone, but with Cinnabons, which is really cool. We just did a lot of fun stuff, and it's just been a good birthday overall. Normally what I say is, how I see it is that I look at my birthday as a day for me to try my best to be as mindful as possible. Instead of thinking about, yeah, it's all about the glory and people, wishing me happy birthday. For me, it's really a focus on, what am I doing in my life? Am I happy with where I am? Am I where I want to be? Am I pursuing what I want? And just being grateful that I'm alive, that I have the people I do in my life, that I have the opportunities that I do, recognizing the privileges I've been granted and carrying that forward and not wasting them, not, like putting everything I have to use. I think that's it's so important to do that on our birthdays, to really think about, to practice gratitude, and to really think about, like, man, I should be really proud of the things that I have and happy for, and, like make the most of it as much as I can. Let's see. So Specs Cab says, do you believe in bro code? I do believe in bro code. And by that, really what I'm saying is I do believe in the idea of respecting your friends and not stepping on toes or overstepping boundaries, which I think happens sometimes. People kind of like, if they like someone and two friends like someone, they kind of get at each other for it, or they kind of undermine each other. And I don't think that's cool. I think it's important to respect other people, whether they're in a relationship with someone that you like, or whether someone else likes them. You got to kind of work through these things, because you want more friends than you do enemies in life. And I think that's a good way to approach it. How do I maintain eye contact without feeling intimidated? Black Panther wants to know. So Black Panther, I did a video all about eye contact and all on that and what to do, which you should definitely check out. I go really in depth on that. But when it comes to maintaining eye contact, I think the focus is one of the tricks that I've learned is you can always use the triangular gaze. What that is essentially is that when you're looking at someone, look at their left eye, then look at their right eye, then look at their forehead, and kind of don't just like go like that. But as you're talking to them, casually glance at each of those three things. And as you do that, it might be easier for you to maintain eye contact without you staring directly. So that might be an easy way for you to kind of like build some kind of connection with them without you like feeling like you're staring at them too long and feeling like a creep. Okay, so Amos Zhang says, "What happens if you don't get to talk to your crush and your friends spill it? What happens if your relationships break?" So I think what you're saying is that your friends kind of told your crush and let them know that, hey, this person likes you. If your friends kind of blab and they kind of tell your friend, say, hey, this guy likes you or something, they do something like that. I think you should own it. A lot of times people get nervous and get afraid and they feel like it's over. My crush knows that I like them. It's over. But I don't think it's over. I think it's possible to continue to build something with them, continue to establish something with them. I think that's what the focus should be. I think the focus should be on kind of really, okay, like I'm in this situation where now they know, let me act on it. No more hiding it. No more waiting. Let me go for it. I think that's what you should be. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Dark Soul says today I got chased by a wasp and classmates were laughing at me. Does this mean I have a bad reputation if they laugh at me? So I totally get where you're coming from, man. I think what it comes down to is it's like people will use any opportunity to laugh at someone. Does this mean that your reputation's ruined or people are going to look at you like you're weird? No, I mean wasps are scary. They get stung by a wasp is no joke, man. That's some pretty crazy stuff. But I don't think you should worry about people like looking at you and thinking, "Oh, he's a weirdo now." Because if they were in that situation, they'd probably act the same exact way. Um, I think if anyone does make a joke about it, here's the thing: if someone's teasing you about something, um, the only way they'll keep teasing you is if they see that it hurts you. They see that it gets to you. If they see that you don't care, if someone says, "Hey, boy, you're gonna run from the wasp again," or something, just make a joke and be like, "Yeah, if another one pops up, I'm gonna try my best to fight it off." Or, "Hey, you're lucky he doesn't come after you next time." Make a joke about it and brush it off. Because if you do, then they're gonna see that you're not affected by it, and then it won't ruin your reputation. They'll just say like, "All right, he doesn't care. Why should I care?" Let's see. So Anarchist Chaos says, I have a question. So months ago, my crush admitted she likes me, but her friends hate me. So this is why I got to do a video on that topic. So today, her friend told her I'm a jerk and said I'm all this horrible thing. So my crush told me to eat shit and die. Oh, that sucks. This is what I'm talking about. Like like if your crush's friends hate you, that only hurts your chances with them. So you got to kind of suck it up and talk to your crush's friends and try to solve that problem. You have to kind of like make peace with them. You have to kind of show them that, hey, look, I don't want to be friends. I don't want to be not that I don't want to be friends. I don't want to be enemies with you. I don't want to fight with you guys. I want things to be cool. How can we be cool? And you have to kind of smooth things out with them that way. But that only comes from you approaching them. Jonathan Roll says, hello, happy birthday, Josh, from a fellow Scorpio. Awesome, dude. Fellow Scorpios unite. Let's see. Zachary Geralda says, happy birthday. You should have 1 million. I think there's 1 million, right? Yes, 1 million subscribers. You have the most helpful videos. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Just so you guys know, if you have any friends that you think can really benefit or would enjoy the channel, share it with them. Like the beauty of advice and the beauty of helping each other is that's what we should focus on. It's like if you come across something that's helpful, share it with other people. Bring other people on board. I think that's the key here. The key really is to help every single person grow. And I think if you share the things that you learn that are positive with other people, that's a sign of you growing as well. Because what you're doing is, it's like when you learn a skill, the best thing you can do is to teach it to other people. So if you're learning advice and you feel like it's helping you through things, help other people too and spread that. Let's see. Adam Eclipse says, I'm scared of being rejected because of my crooked teeth. I hear you in that, Adam. Really what it comes down to is this. It's like, no matter what you feel you're ugly about, like whether it's your teeth, your eyes, your hair, your nose, your weight, your height, whatever it may be, what's really going to stick around is how you treat and interact with other people. How you look is something that people will eventually get over and they'll overlook. What really comes down to how you treat other people. So if you approach someone and you start talking to them, if you treat them with kindness, you flirt with them, you joke with them, that's going to stick with them. The teeth thing is something that maybe over time they'll say, it's not such a big deal or doesn't bother me so much. That's something they can overlook. But a good personality is something that will stick with them. Jaeger is bad says, what would you be doing if YouTube didn't exist? That's a good question. So just so you guys don't know, YouTube isn't my full-time job. I do this part-time. I do this kind of on the side of my day job. My goal is to make this more of my full-time job and to really turn The Josh Speaks into something much, much bigger. But ultimately, if I wasn't making YouTube videos, I probably would continue doing what I was doing in the sense of trying to reach out and speak at schools, trying to teach online courses, doing something to kind of help people. It's like whether it's through YouTube or anywhere else, my goal really is to help you learn how to be your best self. And YouTube just seems to be one of the best platforms for making content and interacting with people and helping them. So if YouTube just goes bust one day, I'll find another way because I really want to dedicate my life to just helping you guys, you know? Let's see. Take another quick water break. Immature Effects says, Josh, the super chat doesn't work in my country. Look into Streamlabs. I am going to look into Streamlabs. I'm also going to look into, I forgot what the streaming thing is. Open broadcasting thing, so I can stream better. Because right now I'm continuing to use Google Hangouts, which isn't the best. Let's see. Okay, I don't like Jack. He bullied me on Roblox and Minecraft. Says, hey Josh, I'm a musician, and as I'm growing up, my voice is changing. Music is the only thing I've ever known. I've done a few performances lately that have been crap. I feel like I can't sing. Any advice? Okay. So I hear what you're saying, man. As you get older, your body's going to change. Your voice is going to change. These are things that are naturally going to happen. And, you know, you may feel like your talents will die away or you'll get bored of them. And things are going to start to move in a different direction as you get older. That's normal. Now, music is the only thing you've ever known, and you feel like you can't sing. So if you feel like singing is not something that you can do, maybe there are other directions you can go with it. You know, you don't have to leave the music world. Maybe you can pick up an instrument, start focusing on playing an instrument instead. Maybe you can work as a coach and help other people become singers. You know, like if you feel like you lose your talent, it's like, think of like a football player who, you know, trained in the sport and played for a few years and then broke his leg. It's like he doesn't have to just leave the football world altogether. He can become a commentator on ESPN. He could become a football coach. He could become, anything. There's a blogger and talk about football or make videos about football. There's a million other avenues to take. You don't have to leave your craft or leave the field of your craft simply because you can't do it how you want to. I think that's an important thing to remember, you know? See, Tava says, I've been watching you since I started sophomore year. Thanks, Tava. I really appreciate that. Happy you stuck around. Let's see. Wolfie Wolf says, I'll be honest. I need help because I think my crush likes someone else and I feel jealous. I hear where you're coming from on that, Wolfie Wolf. If you think your crush likes someone else, I did a video on this to what to do if your crush likes someone else. But ultimately what it comes down to is this. If your crush only likes them, your crush isn't going out with them, your crush isn't dating them or anything like that, then it's still open game. Like, liking someone isn't a guarantee that anything is going to happen, right? So what it really comes down to is who's going to be proactive about it. Are you going to be proactive, or are you going to wait for your crush to be proactive about the other person? I think you should go after your crush. I think you should talk to them. I think you should get to know them. And who knows, you might even change their feelings. You might even get them to like you more than the person they like now. But it all comes down to acting on it rather than waiting for it. Let's see. So J Extra Junior Lucas says, someone told my crush that I love her or like her. Put the heart emoji, so I'm not sure if it's love or like. She's been preventing me almost for a year now, saying I'm annoying because I always text her, telling me she doesn't want to date anyone. However, I still catch her staring at me a lot. So this goes back to one of the original questions we talked about. If your crush is looking at you, does it mean that they like you? And the answer to that was no. It doesn't necessarily mean that they like you. Now, if you've been pursuing this girl for almost a year and she just doesn't want anything to do with you, she's like, leave me alone, man. There has to come a point where you tell yourself, maybe this isn't the best use of my time. Maybe I should pursue other people. Maybe I should talk to other people. Because if you're hung up on this one girl and you feel like, no, she's the right girl for me and I'm never going to give up, but she's outright telling you she doesn't like you, then I think you're kind of falling into this level of one-itis. And one-itis is pretty much when you obsess over one girl, you feel like she's the perfect girl, but you're just never going to be with her, or she doesn't want to be with you, but you can't let go. So it sounds like you might be falling into that realm. I think you should try to talk to other people and get to know other people. So Kate Taper says, how do you keep a conversation with someone? That's a good question, Kate Taper. When it comes to just maintaining a conversation with someone, I think what it comes down to is, sorry, I'm just looking at my phone, checking it here. Just so you guys know, the original Shield will be in action for the first time in more than 3 years tonight on Raw. That's exciting. The Shield's going to be back together. Anyone else here a wrestling fan? I just a little segue. I'm a huge wrestling fan, so I've been waiting for the Shield reunion since the last pay-per-view, TLC, but didn't happen. So keeping a conversation with someone, to bring it back on track. When it comes to keeping a conversation, it's good to dig deeper into the things that you talk about. So here's an example. Let's say you ask someone what their favorite movie is, right? And they say, oh, my favorite movie is, I don't know, High School Musical. I don't know, first thing that popped in my mind. Let's say it's High School Musical. You can always ask them a bunch of follow-up questions. Don't just leave it at that. Don't just say, oh, cool. Say, oh, cool. When was the first time you watched it? Have you seen it more than once? Who's your favorite actor in it? Let's say they say Zac Efron. I'll say the girl you like says Zac Efron because he's cute. You can say, cool. Have you seen any other Zac Efron movies? Like what other actors do you like? You have to keep building on that initial question, and you have all these other follow-up questions. And by asking these follow-up questions, what you're going to show your crush is that you're really interested in learning more about them. And I think that's going to make you stand out way more than someone who just asks one question and says, oh, cool, in response. So let's see. Vives in Limited HD says, today I found out that my crush has a girlfriend already. What's worse? My friend spoiled me and now he knows. What do I do? Should I back away or what? So that's a good question. So your crush has a girlfriend and it sounds like your friend spoiled you and now he knows. So it sounds like your crush knows that you like them and they have a girlfriend, which sucks, right? Like it sucks when someone you like gets into a relationship with someone else. That's never fun to see or be around. But ultimately what I think it is that in that moment, the best thing to do is to be respectful and to be kind, to be understanding. So I don't think you should ever try to force anyone to break up or try to interfere with relationships. I don't think that's a cool thing to do. What I think you can do, though, is you can always just stay friends with him. Just talk to him regularly. Kind of stay on that level where he knows who you are, but not like you guys are best friends, but like he knows who you are. You guys talk regularly. Then if they break up, you pop back in and you interact with him more. But it sucks. And even if he knows that you like him, that's okay. That doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Because if you're not trying to pursue anything with him, then it kind of just is going to stay where it is. Flash Royale says, Josh, I know I'm 30 minutes late. It just disappeared. Let's see. So Vestige, this is the interesting proposition, says, if you say this in the stream or pin it, I will ask my crush out and I will record it. So I'm going to pin this because, how do I pin it? How can I pin this? Go to channel, report, remove, put user in timeout, block, add moderator. It won't let me pin it. Huh. I'm going to repost it because I don't know why it won't let me pin it. So the chat jumped again, so I don't know where I was. I'm going to just pick it up. DeMarco says, happy birthday. Thank you, DeMarco. Oh, DeMarco donated $2. DeMarco, thank you so much. Why didn't it notify me? Thank you guys so much. I don't know if there's been any other super chats because this thing hasn't said anything. But DeMarco, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. That's awesome, dude. Let's see. All right, I'm just gonna pick a spot and go with it. So I don't know how do I pin it? It won't let me pin it. But dude, if you're gonna record your crush, record you asking her out. Send me that video, and I'll figure out a way to feature it in something. I was thinking of doing a collab video with you guys again, just to run this by you. I wanted to do another collab where it's a fan collab where you guys send in video clips and I put it together in one video. And I'm thinking that might be one we might do. A video of you asking out your crush. Record it, send it to me, and I could put that together in one video. What do you guys think? Would that be a fun video to put together? It sounds a little intimidating and scary, but I think it'd be fun. We'll see. We can talk about it. Shoot me a DM and we'll talk about it, guys. All right, I'm just going to pop up here. I got banned for spamming. I'm not spamming. Amos, I'm not sure. Listen, spamming won't help. DeMarco's the moderator, so I'm going to leave DeMarco to figure out what's going on. Let's see. All right, let's jump in here. Elizabeth Coburn says, how do I ask how my crush was popular without getting embarrassed? I hear you on that, Elizabeth. We talked about this a little earlier, the idea of if your crush is popular, how do you kind of get past that label, get past that idea of, feeling like, oh, there's this disconnect. They're popular. I'm not. They'll never like me. They'll never talk to me. How do you kind of get over that? I think a good way to get over that is to remember at the end of the day, no matter who they are, no matter how popular they are, they're just a regular person. And if you approach them like a regular person and you talk to them like a regular person, they'll respond like a regular person. Being popular doesn't mean you're any better than anyone else. You're really not. You're just a normal person. So, Elizabeth, when it comes to talking to your crush, I think it's just a matter more so of figuring out what you want to talk to them about rather than worrying so much like, oh my God, they're popular. How do I do it? And it could be something as simple as saying, hey, are you going to go watch the Justice League movie on Friday? Ask a simple question like that, something relevant, something that's going on, and see what kind of movies he likes, see what he's into. And that might be a good way to get him to start talking to you more regularly and as you start talking to him more regularly, you'll really see that, hey, okay, he's just a guy. Just because he's popular doesn't mean anything. But I hear where you're coming from. It can be a little intimidating. It can seem scary. I totally get that. Let's see. Chris Martin says, Josh, my friend and I both like the same girl. What do I do? I don't want to sour our friendship. Thank you in advance. Chris, I totally get where you're coming from. I did a video on this not too long ago. What do you do if you and your friend like the same girl? I think the best way to handle this, and I talked about this in another video, is whoever liked her first, or whoever declared that they liked her first, should be the first one to kind of have first dibs in approaching and talking to her. Because I think that if you're the person who liked her after and you said, oh, but I like her now, it's not fair because the first person told you as a friend, hey, I like this girl, I'm going to talk to her. So you should kind of let him do his thing. Don't interfere. Let him try and see what happens. And I think that's the best way to kind of go through it as friends. You each try your luck, and if the second person gets the girl, then that's fine. If neither of you guys get the girl, then okay, you move on. But in order to prevent any kind of fighting from occurring, you guys should have that respect system going. Bifocal says, Josh, will you do any fashion videos for guys in the future? I may do fashion videos. I'm not a big fashion guy. I wear pretty plain regular clothes, but it might be something I'll think about approaching and just sharing a few style tips, things that I've learned, things that I do. Let's see. Amos said, get to the chopper. Okay, Ethan Torrevio says, hey, Josh, my teacher dropped my grades at an 85, dropped to 70. You think C are good? So you got a 70 and your teacher gave you a C. So Ethan, sorry to hear that your grades are dropping, man. It sucks. It sucks when like school's a little difficult and things are difficult and you can't figure out how to get them to work. Like, like I struggled with that a lot when I was in high school. I remember I had a hard time with like physics and chemistry. Those were two of my big things that I just sucked at. And it's like, I really tried a lot hard. I really tried to study. I really tried to pay attention in class, but I just couldn't bring my grades up. And every time my grade dropped or I did bad on the test, it just it made me feel so bad. It made me feel like, damn it, like, why can't I do this? Why am I struggling so much? If you feel like you're struggling in a certain subject, it may make sense to talk to your teacher and say, hey, look, I'm really struggling in this. I want to do better. Do you offer tutoring? Do you know what I can do? And teachers most likely will be more than helpful. No teacher wants to see a student fail. No teacher wants to see you fail. So what it really comes down to is showing your teacher that, hey, I'm willing to work hard and I want to do better. And if your teacher picks that up and they see that you're genuine about it, then they'll do what they can to help you do better. So I11 or L11, I don't know what that is, an I or an L. How do you talk to someone you don't have classes or lunch with? That's a good question. When it comes to talking to someone that you don't have classes or lunch with, you have to ask yourself, when do you see them? Are they someone you see passing in the hallway? Do you have any kind of interaction with them? Are they someone that you just maybe found on Snapchat or Instagram and you're like, hey, they go to my school and they're hot and I want to talk to them? Whatever your reason is, I think if you can talk to them in person, whether it's passing in the halls, that should be your focus. The last resort, especially if you never see them around, is just randomly reaching out to them on social media, because sometimes it can backfire. Sometimes they could be like, who is this? What do you want? But then sometimes it may work. Sometimes starting a conversation on social media may work. You can always say, oh, I'm someone that goes to the same school as you, and you popped up in the suggested friends area on Instagram, let's say. So that might be a strategy as well. But ultimately, if you see them passing in the hallways, the best thing you can do is focus on just approaching them and saying, hey, how's it going? How you doing? Just saying hi, smiling, and making eye contact like we mentioned in the beginning. Those are the things I think you should focus on. Let's see. Once again, DeMarco, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. So what did your wife get you for your birthday? LOL, probably her heart. So J Extra Junior Lucas. So like I said, we went out and spent the whole weekend, and we kind of just toured Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But she did buy me something very specific for my birthday. It's something I've been talking about a lot because I've been seeing ads for it everywhere. She bought me a squatty potty from the company Squat to Go, and basically it's when you're on the toilet, it's the thing you put your feet on so that your feet are not directly on the ground. They're kind of elevated, and it's supposed to help when you go to the bathroom. So I've been talking about that. I'm like, oh, we need to get that. We need to get that. So she got that for my birthday. It's an awesome gift. Super cool. It's pretty funny too. But yeah, it's one of the weirdest gifts I've ever got, but one of the most awesome gifts I've ever gotten for my birthday. So, okay, so Amos said, yeah, Josh, I'm too scared to talk to her because I always think of bad part of what can go wrong. Yeah, dude, I hear where you're coming from on that. When it comes to approaching someone, your mind is going to run through a million scenarios of how things can go wrong. It's because it's like you're used to, your body is, in your mind is used to doing things that are comforting and comfortable for you. So approaching a stranger is not a comforting thing because it's new. It's something you've never done before. So there's always a chance that it can mess up and can go wrong. But what I think it really comes down to is it comes down to you kind of pushing yourself little by little, testing your ability, pushing yourself to do things you've never done before to see if you're capable of them. That's really where the learning experience is. So Radio Mustachio says, hey, Josh, happy birthday, firstly. Thank you. Second, it's okay to be scared by your brother because he gets the girls and on the program and he's failing while I'm here passing and no one likes me. Please help. Okay. So you feel like there's a little bit of competition with your brother, Radio Mustachio, because it's like his focus maybe isn't getting girls' attention and he doesn't care so much about school, but you're working hard and you don't get it. So I get that dynamic. And, here's an interesting story that I want to share with you guys. So I had a friend a few years ago, and he kind of went on, did his own thing. But when we were friends, it's like I was a pretty normal, average, good guy. And anytime I interacted with girls would kind of get upset with me if I didn't want to have a relationship. Like they'd ask me, what are we? And I would say, oh, I'm not looking for a relationship. They get angry at me. But for him, he would date girls. He would hang out with them. He would call them back. He would totally ditch them. He would say mean things to them. He was just all over the place, and girls flocked to him. And I wondered, why is he getting all these girls' attention? And meanwhile, I'm a good, genuine guy, and I'm getting girls' attention, but they're getting upset with me when I do the same things that he does. And the reason is because it's like bad boys, people have a certain expectation that they're gonna fail. They're gonna fail on delivery. They're not gonna call you back. They're not gonna be nice. They're not gonna be kind. They're not gonna be open. And people don't expect them to do that. They kind of say, oh, this is how they're gonna be. And girls, in a way, sometimes want to help change the bad boy. They want to help make him a good guy. They want to help make him a nice person. For me, because I was a genuinely good guy, girls didn't have the need to do that, and they felt like, well, why isn't he want to be with me? Like, I don't need to fix him. He's good. So the reason why girls may be attracted to your brother is because they want to fix him. They want to help him. They want to see him do better. They want to be that light in his life. And for you, maybe they don't see that. Maybe they see you have your head on your shoulders. So what I think you can do is, one is, don't worry so much about your brother. He's doing his own thing. Let him do his own thing. But for you, if there are girls that you want to talk to or girls you want to get to know, you have to display that confidence. Because if you're hoping that girls are just going to come to you, it probably won't happen. You have to approach them. You have to do it confidently and show them, hey, I have my life together and I'm an interesting and fun person to hang out with. Let's see. So if, just to fill you guys in again, if I missed your questions, if I didn't get to answer it, if any of those things, and I just kind of overlooked things and I didn't talk to you, you guys can always add me over on Snapchat or Instagram. Here's my Snapchat. Shoot me a message on there. I try my best to answer as many DMs as I can. I'm always posting in there every single day. So if you have a question you want to talk about in private, you can always shoot me a message, Snapchat or Instagram. I'm at thejoshspeaks on both of those. So hit me up over there. Let's see. I have to go pick up girls at Costco soon. Hey, Costco could be a place. Let's see. Okay, Noble Gamer says, by the way, guys, in like 15 minutes or so, I want to try something interesting. What I want to do is I'm going to put this Google Hangouts link in the chat, which I think will allow anyone to jump in and be a part of the chat. We're going to test that out and see in a little bit. And if that's the case, you guys can jump on the Hangout, I think, and be a part of it as well. So we're going to try that out and see what happens there. But for now, I'm going to keep answering some questions. So, Noble Gamer says, I'm in the friend zone sometimes. I'm in the friend zone. Sometimes she talks to me like she wants me. What do I do? Okay, so sometimes when you're in the friend zone, you may overthink things, and you may think that your crush likes you when in reality they probably don't. And you may have higher hopes for things when that isn't really the case. I think what you could do in a situation like that is you can always try to break out of the friend zone. I think is where your mind should be. Breaking out of the friend zone will really require you to kind of establish that you want a relationship and you're not willing to settle for a friendship. Because a lot of times guys, want to try a relationship, but they don't want to lose the friendship. Like they want to see if they can get it, but if it doesn't work out, then they have to then they pretend like it didn't happen. Let's just be friends again. It's like, you have to decide, do you want a relationship or do you only want a friendship? If you want a relationship, then you can't just be friends, right? Because then you're not being honest. You're not genuinely being their friend. You're only their friend because you don't want to lose them in your life. So don't be that guy. Don't be that person, So if you want to break out of it, a Noble Gamer, I think you got to be honest with her. You got to ask her out and say, look, I think you're cute. I like you. I want to go out with you sometime. And if she says, no, we're just friends and I don't see you like that, then you have to tell her, well, I don't want to settle for just being friends, so I think we should end this friendship. And you need to be able to walk away, man. That's the truth. You need to be able to walk away. So Ballistic says, hey, Josh, I've been a long-time subscriber. I love all your tips. Keep it up, man. Thank you so much, Ballistic. I appreciate that. So Diego says, happy birthday. Mine's in 1 week. Awesome. Happy Diego, I'm super excited, man. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. So okay, Mannered Grain says, what does it mean if she says fight me, then playfully? And today I was in art class, and I think I saw her staring at me. When I looked at her, she turned. What does it mean? Okay, so if she's telling you to fight her and she's doing it in a playful way, then that maybe is a sign that she's flirting with you. She may be saying that because she wants to tease you and joke around with you. And if she's looking at you, like I said, looks don't always mean that she likes you. But if she's physically flirting with you in the sense that she wants to play with you, like play around with you, hit you, and do all these different things, then I would take that as a sign of some level of interest. It may not manifest into romantic interest, but it's some level of interest. And it's something you can build on, right? Because she's showing interest in you. So now it's on you to build on top of that. Let's see. What else do we got here? So Arby says, Josh, video is done. Arby, yeah, Arby, I can't call you now. I'm in the middle of the stream. But definitely some other point later tonight, maybe we can talk. Let's see. So Carl, I think, is giving some tips on style and hair and dress and stuff to all right, to a few people here. Cool. So Vestige, if you see this in a stream, or pin it. So Vestige, I don't know how to pin it. Why won't it? Like, I figured it would just show me the pin icon, but it won't let me pin it. Very weird. Very weird. Let's see. Let's scroll down. So A Gamer wants to know, how do I get my crush to like me when she sits nowhere near me in class and I never get a chance to talk to her before or after class? Um, that's a good question. So if you never see your crush, or not that you never see her, but she's all the way on the other side of the classroom and you're over here and there's no way you're going to kind of get to her before or after. I think you have to see, here's the thing. A lot of people say like, oh, I have no time to talk to my crush. But if you really, really like her and you really want to make it work, you will find a way, man. You'll try to make it work. Maybe that means coming to class a little bit earlier and talking to her as she's walking in the door. Maybe that means packing up a little faster and walking out of class and waiting for her to leave so you can talk to her. You have to try to make it work for yourself. If you really want to pursue something with her, if you're going to rest on, it's not easy, then yeah, it's not going to work. Nothing is going to come easy. If you want to build something with her, it's going to require work. It's going to require a bit of a challenge. You got to push your limits. You got to really push yourself to make it happen. Let's see. Adam Eclipse says, I love wrestling. I'm a car wrestler. Awesome, dude. I love making cars. Cars is like my favorite thing in the world. Making cars. Let's see. Oh, the chat jumped again. All right, so it's Vestige's group account. I'm writing a song with my 3 friends. My name is Jeffrey. My friends' names are Spencer, Luke, and Stanley. The song is named Thinking Out Loud. Cool, man. Let's see. Oh, C-Tech. C-Techno. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a nice day. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot to me, and I really am super grateful for that. You know, thank you, man. I'm enjoying this. It's so much fun. I love talking to you guys on my birthday. It's just like, this is the best birthday gift, I have to say. Thank you guys so much. But I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, C-Techno. So, man, I'm just getting lost in the comments now. All right, let me pop in here. This looks like a good one. Paul Yatskiv says, Dear Josh, I really need your advice. There's girls in the school, and I have a few classes with her, and I can visually see that she likes me, how she talks to me, etc., and I like her too. What should I do? And also, happy birthday, Josh. Thank you a lot, Paul. And then I'm going to get to Easy Vid's question after this. But so you see this girl a lot. She's showing you signs that she likes you. What do you do about it? Well, if you see that there's signs that she likes you, it's on you now to ask her out. Now, you know, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know for sure. It's going to work. I'm too nervous. I'm shy. She's shy. There's all these different factors. But like I said, focus, focus, focus. There's a thing I like to talk about called the 3-second rule. And I'll kind of cue you on what that is. The 3-second rule is basically when you see your crush, give yourself no more than 3 seconds to walk up to them and say hi. Now, you said you have a few classes with this girl and you like her and you think she likes you too, then I think if you have the opportunity to where you see her, where she's going into class or anything like that, and you spot her, walk up to her, count to 3 and say 1, 2, 3 and walk. Because the thing is, it's like waiting past 3 seconds, your mind will come up with a million reasons why you shouldn't do it. You'll tell yourself, oh, she's too far away. Oh, it's not going to work. Oh, what am I going to say? It's going to be awkward. You'll give yourself a million reasons why it won't work. But all you need is one reason why it will work. And that reason is because you're walking over right now and you're going to talk to her. That's the only reason you need, because that's what you're going to be doing. So follow the 3-second rule. Put that into play, Paul. When you see her, just count 1, 2, 3, go, and go say hi. You'd be surprised just how much a simple hi can do. Even just saying hi, she'll say hi back. And even if the conversation goes nowhere from there, at least you'd have pushed yourself to have done it. Therefore, you can do it tomorrow. You can do it the day after. And you get in the habit of saying hi to her to where she's going to be like, oh, he's talking to me. He's interacting with me. She's going to take notice of you. And that's what you ultimately want. You want her to take notice of you. So I hope that's helpful. So Alejandro says, Josh, I have a personal problem. It's kind of hard to express through this chat. Is there any way I can contact you privately? Absolutely, Alejandro. You can always shoot me a message here. I'm going to put it up again on Instagram. You can always shoot me a private DM on Instagram. I try my best to answer all the DMs that I get. I'm a little behind right now, but I'll catch up. There's about 54 requests, 54 requests of people that send me new DMs. So I got to kind of go through all of them at some point. And then I have like 20 messages in my normal inbox there to go through. But anyway, I'm gonna get through them. Shoot me a DM. We'll talk over there, man. And this question, easy vids, happy birthday. Who's your favorite Justice League character? It's a good question. Me personally, I've always liked Superman. I think of all the Justice League characters, I know a lot of people love Batman, and the Flash is really popular now, but I always thought Superman was the coolest. Just for the values that he stood for, like just the kindness that he stands for. It's like, here's this alien character that came down to this planet, and he's rooted in this idea of, I'm going to do what's good. And I always thought that was such a good thing. It's like he recognized his purpose, and he's pushing forward to do it. And he's doing all that he can to make the world a better place. Not because he's angry or bitter or enraged. He's doing it because he has the ability to. And I always thought that was an amazing thing. Let's see. How long are you going to keep streaming? So I'm probably going to stand this till about 8 o'clock, but I do want to try something. I want to put the link for this Hangout in the chat. I don't know how crazy it's going to get, guys. Honestly, I'm a little nervous because I'm afraid people are going to go on here and spam, and that's the last thing I want, people to start saying stupid things on the video chat. But I do want to give you guys the opportunity to jump on and be a part of this. I think that'd be really cool. For those of you guys that don't know too, I also do Instagram live streams. I jump on live on Instagram, and I'll bring people on, and we do the new, the new feature on Instagram where you can feature someone and you can have a video chat. I do that from time to time as well on Tuesdays and Fridays on Instagram. So that's more incentive to follow me over there as well. And on Snapchat, I'm always posting things. We just have a lot of fun time. Let's see. So Specs eCab Gaming says, I just got rejected. What do I do now? That's a good question. Rejection sucks, and it sucks to get rejected. And we talked about this before, that the idea of getting over the fear of rejection, but what do you do if you're actually rejected, right? No one wants to actually be rejected. But if you are in this situation, if it is something that happens, okay, it's something that happens, I think the best way to kind of deal with it and kind of move past it is to really break down why you got rejected. Did you get rejected because maybe you didn't make your crush feel comfortable enough? Did you get rejected because maybe you didn't talk to them enough? They didn't know you well? Did you get rejected because of how you asked them? Did you do it in a creepy way? Did you ask them too directly? Really try to break down why you got rejected. And once you can start to understand the pieces, you can tell yourself, let me do it differently next time. Let me try something different. Let me try a different approach, because that's how you'll learn and you'll improve on your strategy of going about it. So I think that's what you need to focus on. Let's see. Alejandro Lim says, hey, Josh, happy 30th. Thank you, man. How would you manage a possible cross-city relationship when there are other people crushing on a girl? That's a tough one, man. I see where you're coming from on that. If you like someone and you guys live across the city and there are other people that like her and are talking to her, that's a reality you're going to have to live with. Like, here's the thing. If you're dating someone in a long distance-ish scenario where you're not actively seeing them in school or whatever, there's always the potential that other people are going to flirt with them. Other people are going to ask them out. Sorry. Other people are going to ask them out. Other people are going to try to get their number and their Snapchat and Instagram. Other people are always going to be on the prowl doing their own thing. How do you kind of manage a situation like that? You have to let that person know that honesty is what you both are going to focus on. You're both going to focus on honesty and openness with each other. Meaning, if either one of you starts to lose feelings or you start to feel unsure, you have to communicate. You have to talk to each other. Because otherwise, if your focus is just on like, we're just going to hope that things are going to work, and you're not honest and you're not open with each other, well, then, yeah, maybe they're going to keep things from you. Maybe you're going to keep things from them, and maybe you guys will fight and you'll never work to resolve it. But honesty and openness are going to be the keys of managing that long distance relationship. And plus, communicating with each other daily, talking online, texting each other throughout the day, keeping each other, keeping in touch with one another. You don't have to have 3 or 4 hour conversations every single day, but keeping in touch with one another and filling each other in on the details of life is what's going to help maintain that structure. Let's see. I'm just scrolling through, reading a bunch of these comments, guys. It's like all these different conversation threads are happening, and I'm just like, oh, what's going on? I don't have Pokemon cards. Show her a Pokemon collection. Girls like that. Trust me. I don't even know what's going on. Someone's talking about addiction. I wish I could see the original question. But DeMarco, also thank you for moderating. Thank you for all your help, man. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for just keeping the peace here and trying to help make things work. Let's see. How can I work on making my trust stronger with my girlfriend? Very rare Jay wants to know. It's a good question. So very rare Jay, I think a good way to kind of maintain a solid relationship with your girlfriend here really comes down to, like I mentioned before, openness, communication, but it really comes down to just caring about the other person. You know, that's a big thing here. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people fall off that. They fall off this idea of showing the other person that they care about them. They fall into this cycle of like, oh, they know I like them. They know I care about them. And they stop doing things for each other. They stop really just making the other person feel special. It's so important to make that other person feel special. And a good way to do that is just by using words of affirmation. Every so often letting them know, like, I really appreciate you. I'm really happy that I have you. And, you know, if they do something for you, if they get you a gift or they take you somewhere or they do anything, let them know, I'm really happy that I can spend this time with you. I'm really happy that you're there for me. You know, that's how you build stronger trust with them, and being open and honest with them. You know, a lot of guys are like too scared to show their girls their phone, and like they kind of keep secrets and do all these different things. But the more honest and open you are with the more honest and open you are with your girlfriend, the easier it's going to be for them to kind of like, you know, really start to feel like, hey, like they're just there for me, and they really want to just put it all out there for me. So I see some weird comments in here, like how I approach girls say I eat ass. Or if you want to impress your crush, start reciting the Communist Manifesto in class. So there are some people here who are clearly having their own conversations with others. But here, let me jump over to another comment here. Once again, I want to say thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Today, for those of you that don't know, obviously, today is my 30th birthday, and I'm super happy to be able to spend today with you guys. And I spent the whole weekend with my wife. We went out on a trip, and it was amazing, and she got me a gift and a card, and it was just beautiful and awesome. And there's nothing more awesome than just talking to you guys, helping you guys out, communicating with you. So this has been so much fun so far. To be honest, you look 25. Thank you, man. I guess that's good, right? Genuinely, I thought he was 21, 22 before I heard he was married. Yeah. So I think the marriage video, and I think all these things kind of show people like, oh, Josh is, you know, not on high school, I guess. Exhibente says, hey, Josh, happy 30th. Thank you. I like a girl, and I'm extremely sure she reciprocates. I got scared to talk to her sometimes, but that's the only way to progress. Advice? Yes. So, it can be scary sometimes to talk to someone, especially if the girl's being responsive to you. You may feel like, oh, does she like me? Does she like me back? Is she just flirting with me, or is she just being friendly? It's on you. It really falls down to you really maximizing that opportunity by asking her to hang out one-on-one, and then really taking that time to get to know her better. Because for all you know, she may just be being friendly, and she may not think that you like her, but you can show her that you like her rather than telling her you like her. You can show her that you like her by asking her out, by spending time with her, by flirting with her and joking with her. So I think that's what you should focus on. Hey, Mr. Menace, don't expect Josh to answer your question because Josh didn't answer mine. So I missed a bunch of the questions, cool videos. The chat jumps around a bit, so I kind of miss a lot. For anyone that feels like I didn't get to your question, Gilfin Farm, I love WWE Wrestling. I love WWE too, man. For anyone who feels like I didn't get to answer your question, like I said, follow me over on Snapchat or Instagram. I try my best to answer as many questions as I can there. We can talk in private too. You can always shoot me a DM. But I'm going to do more of these chats, more of these kind of hangouts and stuff. I'm going to try to do them more regularly, guys. Maybe I'll do them once a week. For now, I've been doing the 2-hour hangouts maybe once a month, but I might do like half-hour hangouts once a week. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely want to jump on YouTube Live more often throughout the week. Okay, so here's another question. Daniel297 says, Daniel297 Kubel 8324 says, Josh, I like this girl who is I'm in 8th, or she's in 8th, I guess, and I'm in 9th. We used to go to the same school, but not anymore. I've known her for years. I tried Snapchat combos, but she seems cold. Okay. So you guys used to be in the same grade, right? You used to be in the same school, but now that you've kind of graduated and she's still in 8th grade, you're in 9th grade, it's hard. It's hard to maintain a conversation with her. And you're talking to her on Snapchat, but it's not really going as well as you planned. She's kind of distant on there. It's hard because, you know, like when you're trying to start cold with someone and Snapchat or through Snapchat or Instagram, it's not the best platform. And the reason for that is because it's like, you haven't really spent time with them in person. So to them, all you are is a name, a name writing text messages. And it's hard to build a personal connection with a random person like that. I think the best way to go about it is use the functionality of sending pictures to each other. And I don't mean just send streaks, because a lot of people just send streaks and that's that. But I mean sending fun, interesting pictures to each other. Take a picture of yourself doing something fun and then tell her, say like, this is your challenge, do this. And try to really build something like that where you guys are communicating in that level where you're sending fun pictures to each other, you're asking each other to do challenges or dares or fun things like that. I did a video on how to talk to your crush on Snapchat, which I think might be super helpful. I totally recommend checking that out. So, okay. So JSLS says, how can I get to sexual levels with my crush? We hugged and she touched my dick before, and I've touched some of her parts. Sorry, I know I'm young, but I need to know. Okay. So I'm going to approach this with a bit of caution and say that if you are someone that's underage, right? And by underage, I mean under 18, right? You have to be conscious and mindful of what you're doing that's sexual, right? You don't want to jump into anything too sexual when we're too young because, look, there's potential. You might have a kid or someone might get pregnant or something like that may happen. So you always want to be conscious of what you're doing. How do you kind of advance with someone? I think the most important thing to remember is you have to know where their comfort level is, right? Just because you want to do something doesn't mean they are on board to do it too. And it's important to talk about that, to have that conversation with them, to ask them, hey, I want to know what you're comfortable with. I want to know what you're not comfortable with. Maybe they say I'm only comfortable with touching. Maybe I'm only comfortable with kissing. Maybe I'm only comfortable with something else. But having that conversation lets you both know that where you guys stand so that no one oversteps their boundaries. No one feels pressured into doing something. That's an important thing too. A lot of times when you're younger, like you may do things because you feel pressured. Maybe everyone around you is doing it. Maybe you feel like, everyone's doing it, I should be at that level. There's a lot of influential factors, so you really, really should be conscious of what you're doing so you don't get into a situation where you do something that makes someone else feel weird or uncomfortable, or you can get in trouble for that. But talking it out with them, I think, is the best way. Okay, so DeMarco says, been a long time since I asked advice like this, but I like this girl and she has a boyfriend, and I've been, getting in them DMs. I don't want this boyfriend, but I want her. I also Snapchat. I hear you, DeMarco. Yeah, there's a tricky line. There's a tricky line between overstepping boundaries and being respectful. So if you're talking to her through DM and stuff, and you really like her and you feel you're getting that vibe back from her, let her know and say, look, I really like you, but I know you have a boyfriend and I don't want to overstep boundaries here. And tell her, like, if you ever want to pursue anything with me when you're single, we'll do that. If you make that clear, that puts it in her mind to say, well, do I like my boyfriend more or do I like this other guy more? It's on her to really make that decision. You don't want to force her. You don't want to threaten her, say, you better break up with your boyfriend or I won't talk to you anymore. You want to let her know, look, when you're single, we can take this further. But for now, I don't want to step on any toes. I want to be respectful. And that's good. That's good because she sees that you're a person with moral character. You're not just a sleazebag just trying to get in her pants or trying to get with her. You're a guy, you're an upstanding guy. And that's really the persona you want to put forward. So one thing I want to try now is I'm going to copy this chat link. And I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if it will work. And I'm going to paste it in here. So can I pin my own comment? I can't. I don't even know how do I pin things? I feel like pinning things should be easy. Okay. So I posted a link in there. I don't know if you guys can click on that. Does anyone know how to pin? I wish I could pin my own comment here. It only says I can remove it. Anyway, so I posted the link in there. I don't know if you guys click on that, if it'll take you where you can jump on the stream too. You might be able to actually just come into the Hangout. Yeah, it's open to anyone now. That's what I wanted to see. So someone here jumped in. We have a few people jumping on, and I wanted to see. We have people jumping in. This is cool. DeMarco, is that you?
Hey.
What is up, man? All right. I don't know if I have
this echo or not. I hope this doesn't echo for everyone.
How's it going, DeMarco?
echo?
Doing good.
There is an echo. Arby, you're in here too.
Oh,
There's an echo for everyone. Guys, if you have headphones, I recommend using them because there's crazy echo right now. But I wanted to do this at the end of the stream just to see. Oh my god, there's crazy echo. I'm gonna have to mute people. Guys, I'm gonna mute you guys unless you have headphones. Because otherwise you're just gonna get crazy echo like I'm hearing right now, right? Isn't it going insane? There, everyone's muted. Put on headphones if you can, and then unmute yourself. If you have headphones, put them on and unmute yourself. Arby, what are you throwing a finger up? I just explained. So yeah, I wanted to open it up here so that you guys can kind of jump in and share questions, share talking. You know, what do you guys think about the chat? What do you think is going on so far? If you have headphones, put them on and unmute yourself. Arby, what are you throwing a finger up? I just explained. I wanted to open
Video is ready.
so that you guys can kind of jump in and share questions, share talking. You know, what do you guys think about the chat? What do you think is going on so far? If you have headphones, put them on and unmute yourself. It's getting pretty crazy.
Video is ready.
So that you guys can kind of jump in and share questions. So what is up, everyone that joined in here? I wanted to share out the link to see what this would be like. Pretty crazy.
Okay, the stream is broken. Video is ready.
All right, I'm gonna mute the people who, everyone else, unless you have headphones, put them in, because then we're gonna get crazy echo. I left my headphones downstairs, so I'm the one guy without them. Pretty crazy.
Okay. Is ready. Hey Josh.
I'm gonna mute the people. What's up, Arby? Unless you have headphones, put them in, because then we're gonna get crazy echo. I left my headphones downstairs.
It's so much echo. So you're so behind. Alright.
This didn't work out like I had planned. But I'm going to go back to answering some questions here. If any of you guys that are on the chat, I don't know how to make this without so many crazy echoes. This didn't work out like I'm going to go back to answering some questions. Any of you guys that are all right, I'm going to let's look at this chat here, because the people in the chat I'm probably E-Buck says, hey, happy birthday. What does it mean if your crush tells you that they want their kids to be like you? I'm one of the top kids in my school, so that may mean something in that category. Let's look at this chat here, because the people in the chat I'm probably E-Buck says, hey, happy birthday, crazy, I have to say. Like myself talking through other people's audio. Kids in my school, so that may mean something in that category.
Josh.
Let's look at this chat here, because the people in the chat I'm probably
I muted
Arby,
it.
what's up? E-Buck says, hey, happy birthday, crazy, I have to say.
But it's still echoing.
Like myself talking through other people's audio. Kids in my school, so that may mean something in that category.
Josh.
Let's look at this chat here, because the people in the chat I'm probably
I muted
Arby,
it.
what's up? E-Buck says, hey, happy
I
birthday,
muted it,
crazy, I have to say.
But it's still echoing.
Like myself talking through other people's audio. Kids in my school, so that may mean something in that category.
Josh.
Let's look at this chat here, because the people in the chat I'm probably
Okay then. I muted
Arby,
it.
what's up? This is, I tried to do this, maybe I gotta plan this out a little bit better.
Bro.
Advice stuff.
Bro.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Okay then.
This is, I tried to do this, maybe I gotta plan this out a little bit better.
Bro.
Advice stuff.
Bro.
All right, Arby, I'm gonna mute you. Is the echo coming from you? The echo, all right. Anyone else hear an echo?
No. Hey.
Hey, what's up, man?
Anyone here?
Hey,
Stick together and have fun with your pals.
this has gotten crazy.
It's a great way
This
to
has gotten
explore each other's
crazy.
creative side. Applebee's is a proud sponsor of Disney Junior. Sets each sold separately.
Is that an Applebee's commercial in the background?
Having a blast with your
Oh
best
boy.
friends. It's all about staying connected and exploring the world together.
Oh man.
VSAC is a proud sponsor of
Hello.
Disney Junior. Each sold separately.
What is up, everyone that's joining? Happy birthday. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Keep having a lot of crushes on every girl I meet. That's a pretty normal thing, man, to have crushes on. I don't even know if my audio is even picking up past everyone else's. Thank you. Having crushes on lots of girls is totally normal. Awesome, Arby. Thank you, man. I'll watch it. I'll check it out after. I can't watch it right now. So Daniel says that he's giving me a shout out, or we'll paste the entire Communist Manifesto in the chat. Well, TV's too loud. Yeah, whoever has TV right now playing in the background. Daniel says that he's giving me a shout out, or we'll paste the entire This is a little crazy. Not what I expected, guys. For those of you that are watching, I thought right now it wouldn't overlap so much. I wanted to kind of just bring people on because I thought it'd be fun. So hopefully so far, I hope you're enjoying all the questions we've answered, and I see people are dropping out, but that's okay.
Hello.
I am going to wrap it up in a few minutes anyway. I want to kind of say I'm going to mute everyone here just to be fun, so I can kind of. So hopefully so far, I hope you're enjoying. We'll try this again another time, and I'm just going to mute you guys. Sorry about that, but I'm going to close this out just so I can kind of figure out what's going on, so I can close it off. Okay. All right. Anyway, so to anyone that is still watching, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Thank you for asking your questions. I'm super excited to be able to spend my 30th birthday with you guys. This has been pretty crazy these last 10 minutes. I was like, let me just dedicate a little bit of time. But for those of you that haven't or I didn't get to answer your questions, you guys can always, like I said, shoot me a message over on Snapchat. Add my Snap code right there, or add me over on Instagram, and I'll do everything that I can to answer your questions as soon as I can. But I'm super excited. I want to start doing way more live streams with you guys. I love jumping on live streams with my Instagram. Love jumping on live stream. Love talking to you guys. I'm going to try to start doing these once a week. Maybe I'll do 30-minute or 15-minute blocks once a week and see what happens. But this has been a lot of fun. To anyone whose questions I didn't answer, thank you guys so much for sending them in. Thank you guys for the super chats, too, that you sent in. I really appreciate that. DeMarco, what are you listening to? I hear stuff in the background.
I don't know. It's like some TV that my little brother's watching.
Oh. I just hear it. Tell everyone I said what's up, man. This is going to be deleted after the stream ends. This will not be deleted. Any questions that I answered. So, DeMarco, I'm going to mute you for a second, because I don't know if your audio is going to conflict over mine in the replay, but so once the stream ends, this will be up. Just so you guys know, I always go in at the end of the streams once they're up, and I add in all the time codes. And basically what that is basically I just set it up. I set it up so that you can kind of jump to each specific question. That'll be in the first comment that's in the time codes there. So you'll be able to see it there, and you'll be able to jump to whatever questions I answered. You're going to get that full list there. So this doesn't go away. It goes right on my channel right after. But once again, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy that I get to spend my time with you. Yeah. You know, this has been so much fun. This is crazy. You see Arby's like going crazy with his phone. DeMarco's listening to some TV stuff in the background. Everyone's over here throwing up signs. You know, we're just doing some crazy stuff. But this has been really fun. Thank you guys so much. I almost knocked the lights over. That wouldn't be good. Thank you guys so much. If you want, follow me over on Instagram, because I'm going to quickly jump on Instagram Live just for a little bit. This is going to be kind of like the that we're going to do. So follow me, like I said, over on Instagram. We'll jump on Instagram Live. We'll do the after party stream there. It'll be a little easier. Arby, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What?
I don't even know. Yeah, follow me over there. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Have a good one. I'll talk to you guys soon. As always, love and peace. See you guys.